guys, welcome to our review of Twisters!
Twins! We got twins!
We got twins! Twins!
Best part.
And this had a wild trailer, and I was like, wait, what? What is this? A sequel? Decades later? A reimagining? Is this? I don't know what it is. Is it a sequel?
It's gotta be a
I mean, that's what the internet said. I mean, the website said.
But none of the original characters are referenced, right? We do see Dorothy, which is the container of all the sensors. And I think in the first one, it was about gathering data. From the thing. And then this one, it's about gathering data, but with the added thing of dissipating the tornado. We're going to kill a tornado. Like Trump's going to fire a missile at a hurricane or something. Nuke a hurricane. Well, we're going to destroy a tornado, and is what this film was. So it is quite a loud and boisterous disaster film, in my opinion, that employs hyper-realism. I don't know what to call this because it's not realistic. It is like movie realism, and it's just constant, set piece after set piece, and then ridiculous nature. So, you know what? I'm going to let you guys go first. What did you think of Twisters?
I honestly thought I was going to hate it, but I don't. If you're looking for a movie to watch, sure, go check it out. It was a good watch. It kind of brought me back to the 90s destruction era when they had Twister, the first one. That's classic, of course. The volcanoes and all this other crazy.
Dante's Peak.
Yes.
It is.
So
eventually all the craziness won you over, Joe?
It did.
Because I was rolling my eyes quite a bit.
But it's like... That's what you're going in for. It's a fucking tornado. What do you expect? And I expected big-ass tornadoes, loudness, and that's basically what you get.
Country music and
country music.
If you love country music, you're going to love this film.
And Glen. Glen is everywhere now.
Glen Powell, the new hotness, the new hot hunk.
And who knew YouTubers will save the day, right?
Yeah, Glen Powell. Yeah,
fucking
that's
YouTubers.
Right. Yeah, YouTubers saves the day. Told you we are needed in some way.
Yeah. Some of the crew was kind of like
jokes that they were really hitting at me, like selling shirts with your face on it. Who would do that? Why would anybody ever do something like that and have 1 million subscribers on YouTube and sell merch? Well, they explain it in the film what it's really for.
So it was like one of these disaster films. It's pretty good acting. Some off and on. For this kind of movie, I still want to see the other movie that Alex was talking to me about.
What is that?
Catnado. We're going to be checking it out.
Is that a real thing?
It is. October. It comes out in October.
Catnado.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was a little disappointed. There were no flying cows like the first one.
No flying cows.
I was going to say that, Joe. You took it from me.
Well,
I was waiting the whole film
for
the fucking flying cow.
Twister.
No flying cow.
Yeah. It's like that. That was a good part. But I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it was.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that this movie is very stupid. But even some of those disaster movies that we watched were kind of dumb. I think Twister is almost one of it's one of the best of the 90s action movies. It has an absolutely stellar cast. That movie doesn't deserve its cast. Like Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it and he's incredible. Yes. Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, Carrie Elwes is in it. Like that movie's really tight. There's some kind of silliness that goes on. This one takes it to the extreme, right? Yes. We are not grounded at all in any sort of reality. It is kind of, I wouldn't say
hyper reality.
Yeah, it doesn't jump the shark, but it's close.
I don't know, man. I feel like this jumps the shark.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
Yeah, I think I could be.
But that's why I'm interested. That's why I was entertained.
Yeah, but it is entertaining, right? Like as dumb as some of the things are, it is entertaining. I think some of the cast are charismatic and they lead some of the scenes. Some of the things are kind of interesting. I think that there are some boring parts of the movie. The movie doesn't feel tight. Like I feel like we were kind of spinning our wheels at certain points of the movie where it's like we need to kind of get back to the point.
I think the injected love story kind of was slower.
But I think if you're looking for a movie that is going to be like reminiscent of the 90s and you're okay with a little bit of schlock, I think this is a good time.
Yeah, there's a lot of schlock here, and I'd say a recent one we saw, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
It's too much.
This is better than that. So, you know, if you're looking for a sequel to recapture some of the essence of the original and then amp it up to fucking 11, and you get tornadoes, you get twisters, you get twins, you get you've seen it in the trailer of flaming twisters, and all of it highly satisfying. And I agree with the boys. I disliked it at first, and the film won me over with its non-stop beating over the head of just this hyper-realism where in this world there is a tornado every 3 seconds, and and every single person is outside doing baseball games, doing festivals.
There's nothing to do
in the middle of a weather alert. In the middle of
small towns,
they don't give a fuck. Small towns will do whatever the fuck they want.
But there were no animals on any of these farms.
No animals, no cows. We needed some flying cows. We get flying humans, but not flying cows. But because everything is so hyper thing, and there's literally superheroes. They turn these characters into superheroes where they are defying nature and they're fighting back against nature. And it is so melodramatic. It's like, we got to chase the storm. No, we got to save the people. The people! Think of the people! The people! We got to do the people! No, the thing. No, the people! The thing. The people! And then they go and then they have, like, you know, all these scenes of helping people, you know, who should already know to get away from a storm. And so when our heroes show up to save them, what do? Okay, follow this way, go this way, and let's go! Or they're like, let's go! Come this way!
Let's get in the vehicle! Oh, God!
We didn't need you to do that. There are already people in the small town that are doing that, so all you're doing is adding to the confusion, especially if you're going to show up and tell people to go in a different direction from the direction that the people was going. But see, she is so smart. Our main character has the sense. She has all senses. She can sense which direction the tornado will turn. She can tell whether a tornado will form. She can tell if a storm is even going to leak a little bit of rain.
She's got that gladiator power. She's going through the field. In slow motion, just feels the wind.
The song happens.
This way.
And then she lifts some grass.
But Superman's being a dick. He's like, no, the data says it's this one. He's like, no.
I was like, this is Superman. I'm proud of myself because, like, I think this is Superman. I was like, Joe, is this Superman? Joe's like, nah.
That guy's too small.
I said, Alex, is this Superman? He goes, nah. And I'm like,
that guy's
no,
like this
Superman.
big.
No, he's big. We've seen him put the muscle on.
I also see his suit not fit him because he doesn't have enough muscle.
The suit does cover up the muscle, so hopefully James Gunn can fix that towards the end or in the sequel. But, yeah, he's a dick in this, and this will be his last role where he's like a square, a fucking dick square. That's right. His dick is in the shape of a square. That's how square this man is. And but pretty much everybody puts in an interesting and solid performance. I believed everybody, even though, you know, within the world of stupidness, within the world of chasing tornadoes, and there being a tornado every 3 seconds, and then trying to destroy a tornado, and then of course it all culminates into, we get a nice little intro story of the past with some characters. And surprisingly, usually when these bits are set up, you don't care about any of the characters because it goes so fast. But I kind of liked these people here at the beginning. This little mini movie that happens before the main movie. So I enjoyed that. And then once we get to the main characters, I was rolling my eyes. I was like, this is stupid. I kept looking over at Joe. We kept looking at each other at stupid moments. They're like, what did you just say? But it didn't matter because it won us over. It is one of those event films. It is entertaining. Yeah. It's exactly what it sets up to be, and I think it pays off. Surprisingly enjoyable, even though you're rolling your eyes through a lot of it. So I think this is one of those movies where people describe the movies as popcorn movies, and you turn your brain off
That's
kind
what
of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. This is like one of those where you turn off the brain and you still enjoy it. Not like.
But that makes us hypocrites because
no.
what the points Alex has made before about turning your brains off.
You've got to be brain dead to enjoy it.
But I was gonna say that acolytes. Some people said turn off your brain. I was like, that's like shutting everything down. This is like, turn off your brain.
Okay.
The other one
Thank
is
you,
like
Joe. Good
higher
point.
brain function versus
Yeah.
low brain function.
So even though these characters are ridiculous, they're stupid, but within their world of hyperrealism where tornadoes literally touch down every 3 seconds, nobody looks at the weather, nobody has weather warnings. Weathermen do not exist in this world. It still makes sense. The character motivations make sense.
Yeah.
Their performances are good. You understand where things are going, and the writing, it's good. It's clever. There's good moments. You genuinely understand how some characters loathe others, and then come to understand them more. It is tropey as hell. Don't get me wrong. It employs every single trope in the book. You think the guy's a dick? Oh, but he's got a heart of gold. Do you think this guy is doing it for good reasons? Oh, there's kind of some bad reasons there, but yet he still has a good heart, and maybe he's going to do something. So there's a lot of that. But ultimately, because the film is running on all cylinders, it's paying off in the CGI department. It's paying off in the disaster department, in the visuals department, and the tension. Ultimately, it wins you over.
Yeah.
Okay.
A quick one.
Is 2 hours and 2 minutes? Is it too much?
Yes.
They should have toned down some parts. So I guess for me, the love story, it kind of felt like Javier was like trying to get with.
Who's Javier?
The one who recruits her. It's like,
right.
hey, let me borrow you for a week. You got this whole sense. You know when the next one's gonna hit. He's
you can tell there's a bit of a love triangle
Yes.
going on here, and that's a little annoying. Ultimately, it peters out and lays a fart at the end, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I felt like it was. That was like you could have like cut some of that off and just go back to just the tornado scenes. And we're just there for the destruction.
Yeah, they set up a really, really stupid rivalry between two groups of people that have no conflict between them whatsoever in any explainable universe. Like, these guys are trying to get around a tornado and like monitor it from outside, and these other idiots are literally trying to drive into it. They're not competitors. They're going to be running each other off the road, and they're like, these guys don't like each other.
You're squares,
and it's like,
you guys are hillbillies.
Why would you almost kill? Like, you have professional respect for them. Like, why are you almost killing these people? Like, it's dumb. They're trying to amp it up, where it's like, the amp up is the tornado CG effect that you spent probably $50 million on. This human drama thing is not very good.
Yeah, you're there for the twisters.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to final verdicts. Would you recommend people go out to theaters this weekend and see Twisters with their family?
Yeah, if you're looking for a movie to go check out, definitely recommend this one. You need to see it in the theater. It's loud noises, it's destruction.
Loud noises!
Good chemistry with the main actors. I would give this one a 7. A little bit, like Alex was saying, you don't need the people drama. You're there, it's like you're there for Godzilla or King Kong or something like that. You don't.
And surprisingly, Godzilla shows up a lot, whereas Gareth Edwards or whatever would hide Godzilla behind the two doors closing, and you see him maybe once at the beginning, once at the end. This film is just constant tornadoes.
Yeah, that's 7 for me.
Which is good.
Yeah, I think this movie is insanely stupid, and I think that the drama is overhyped, and there's so much wrong with it, and it overstays its welcome. But it's fun, and like I want people to understand, like, you can do that, and the way that you can do that is the movie not once, not ever, took itself, in my opinion, too seriously.
Yes.
And so you have a dude, you have Glen Powell wearing a cowboy hat, blasting country music that uses
Wrangler.
shitty augers 1 feet into the ground. He's like, my truck's too heavy for a tornado. Woo! That movie's not
you
serious.
Realize the fucking mud would come up instantly
Nothing
from
about
his two drills?
This movie is serious. But when an assassin walks up to a Jedi Master and is like, fight me with all of your might, that's the difference between the two. Because like that thing's taking itself really seriously, and it's stupid. This knows it's stupid, and it's running to the hills with it. And I'm in. Throw me a fucking Budweiser.
Yeah,
let's go.
There's several scenes of a truck driving into a tornado while the guy goes,
music.
Yeah.
Country music
I mean,
blaring.
the music's not for me, but yeah,
No,
seriously.
I hate it.
Throw me a beer, and like you can have a good time watching this. So this movie is insanely stupid. Good time, 7 out of 10.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm actually going to go higher. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Why? Because I'm grading on a curve. I don't like flagrant stupidity. And this has flagrant stupidity. This has way too much country music.
I like country music.
You like some country music. You don't like all country music.
I hate Tano.
But I can't. Well, there's some. Even I like some country music, but the music in here, it's too much. Okay, it's just nonstop. But you know what? It is a disaster film that is ultimately entertaining, engaging. It's fucking ridiculous. It jumps the shark. It has a theater sequence where people try to hide in the theater, and it's hilarious what happens to the theater, and it's great. And it's just so I was able to forgive the nonstop twang and country and the nonstop we twang. You know, these annoying characters that I should
YouTubers,
hate. That I should hate, but I ultimately
have to be like that, right?
Liked them. Yeah. And
like
it was a lot of fun. And I think that the film does have a good message and a good heart, though it comes off so cringy, over melodrama. Look up the definition of melodramatic, and you'll see a picture of Glen Powell helping people from tornadoes there in Twisters. And you see pretty much every plot point coming, but again, it doesn't matter because what then is presented to you is highly entertaining and looks good. And well acted, well shot, I even think well directed. I tried to look up the director. I couldn't really find a lot of stuff that he had done before. He had done a lot of films that I cannot pronounce, so from another country, perhaps.
I mean, good job to that person.
Did great.
That we see a lot of first-time people just fall on their face, especially doing something like this. Now, they had a great movie to kind of base things off, and they didn't do anything with it. But I mean, I would say that we talked about Ghostbusters, which I think is down here. Top Gun Maverick is literally top.
It's Top Gun Maverick
because it's like taking a classic thing, remaking it, throw Glen Powell in it, and then he's. And so which one are they going to do next with him from the 90s?
I want Booster Gold, but I hear...
He's recast. It's not him, though.
Who is it? It was the guy from Uber...
Kumail Nanjiani.
Is rumor. I don't know if that's full, but I'm like, no, Glen Powell is Booster Gold, man. Please, in the DCU, that'd be so sweet.
But I think Twisters fits. It's kind of between where it's not as good as Top Gun Maverick, but it is still...
100% agree with that.
Yeah. Yes, disaster action flick. Turn your brain off. Go, enjoy it on the big screen. You're going to appreciate it more, I think. And
have a beer too.
Have a beer because
get some country music. Get yourself a Budweiser.
The intensity and the stupidity is on full display, but it is a fun stupidity. And Joe, I don't know about you, but your fucking science project in middle school was pathetic.
We were talking
compared
about that.
to this lady's science project.
We're like, what?
When we did the volcano, we would be laughed out of the classroom by this chick.
She made her.
Wait. We're going to spoilers. Okay. So thank you. Wait a minute. Did I rate it? Yeah. So 7, 7, 8. That's our thing. I think it's an entertaining watch. You should see it in theaters. Take your family. It's one of those types of films. And talk to us about how stupid it was, because we're about to talk about how stupid it is, if I can even remember all the stupidity, but entertaining stupidity. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you in the spoiler section. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. So your fucking pathetic science project.
I was like, what the fuck?
You're feeling some envy. What did you say? High school? No, middle school. Not high school, not college, middle school. Apparently she created an entire Beetlejuice town, which is like her town, and then she literally created a Twister fucking
like a smoke machine.
Smoke machine. I was like, what?
The houses were all going off.
And she's got industrial buttons and huge lines.
And everything still works. Yep. Yeah, it works.
And there's no way you could transport that to the school, so the whole school probably had to make a field trip to her house in her barn to see her science project. And people were like, motherfucker, you fucking trying to get us fucking Fs? You don't you smart ass bitch, get out of our town. This science lady. And eventually she does get out of the town. Like, she goes to New York.
You won. Yeah. You don't fucking see it.
That'd be funny if she's like, nah, I got second place. I want to see that movie. All right, what are we spoiling here? Alex, give us a spoiler.
She wants to throw diapers in the tornado.
What?
And that's what...
It's made out of diapers.
So she throws diaper dust in a tornado, and then it will it'll suck up all of the moisture, which will kill a tornado. But her calculations are off, and her boyfriend dies, and... the other guy dies.
I don't think that's how tornadoes work. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's any meteorologists out there that you could destroy a tornado by throwing diapers at it.
Isotopes,
I don't think there's
enzymes
and shit. Oh man, they love their science speak in it. And honestly, everything that they said was not wrong, but it doesn't exactly equate into turning off a tornado.
How would you know?
All you done is you threw some fucking diapers into the air and then absorb some moisture, but the motherfucking scientists don't even know exactly how the tornadoes are working and forming.
But
they do.
Because in the beginning we see the Dorothy thing, so I was like, okay, this is. I was thinking maybe
Dorothy thing?
Was it going to be in the movie or something?
Sorry, yeah. So the mini movie, her as a young person, she's got a boyfriend. They're in love and happy. She's got a bunch of friends.
They start talking about the future.
Shit. And then the tornado that they were testing to put the diapers in was too big. It's F5 instead of an F1 that they had anticipated. And everybody dies except for her. Oh, and the Javier, who
he's way in the back.
Way in the back. He's the guy that controls Dorothy. How he has Dorothy from the first film, I don't know. Is he related to the family of the Bill Paxton's son? No, he doesn't. I don't know what's happening. So I don't know how it links. If this is a reimagining or if it's a direct sequel. They say it's a sequel. But maybe more links would have been good. But this is the opposite of Member Berries. This film does none of it.
Yeah, besides that one.
Besides Dorothy, and that's fine because that's the whole premise of Twisters. If you want to keep it in the franchise, so like, okay, and I was like, I respect that. That's different and interesting, and you've shown restraint. So as long as you do it good, do it well, and they did.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Other than the ridiculousness of the science speak. So let's go and keep going here. So
like you were saying, there's for me the rodeo scene kind of mirrored the drive-in one in the first one. That was a cool scene. So the rodeo was a pretty powerful one.
All these people at the rodeo didn't get no weather alerts. Later, there was literally a tornado that just touched down earlier, and now another tornado. Everybody's just out.
When we get the leaves, you were making fun of this scene.
Yeah,
she picks up the leaves. She's like,
she's picking up a leaf, and then I went to Joe, and I was like, whoa.
Then everyone's phone goes off. Tornado warning. An hour later, tornado's coming. I was like, yeah,
Everybody got the alert already.
It's a little too late.
Yeah, they would have got the alert a long time ago. But I guess in small towns, you ignore most of the alerts because one lady's like, these are 9 times out of 10. There's no tornado. It's like, you would know better than anybody that that's not necessarily true.
But you live in a movie.
Not for the movie universe, because every single cloud turns into a tornado in this film. By the way, it devastated me, in spoilers here, that to learn that the 1000 is not a thing. Like when you hear thunder and one of the guys is like, that is not a thing. And I'm like, yes, it is. I think I've done it myself. It is a thing. What is he talking about?
Calculates the miles.
It's 1 second is supposed to be roughly a mile away to tell you roughly how he's probably not.
Maybe he's saying scientifically that's not a thing, but I don't know. Every single time I've done it, it seems to have worked. But whatever. Okay. So that devastated me to learn that's not actually
I was just thinking about that, too. It's like, it's not true.
But maybe the movie where the guy... So Glen Powell...
1,000, 1,000.
Glen Powell takes his truck the very first time we see him around a tornado, and he drives his truck inside of a tornado at the bottom, and he launches fireworks on the inside, and that's how we're introduced to this fucking character.
That's hilarious, isn't it? Look at Joe laughing.
And it's like,
he is so annoying the first time because he's like screaming and hollering.
Everyone's so worried about dying. Like, people are losing, like, their farms. Like, there should be cows and dogs and cats in this thing.
Maybe that's why they didn't do
And
it.
he's like in there shooting fireworks up, going, woo! It's like...
He said "wee."
Okay.
He said "wee" many times.
And then it's rainy, and again the dirt is super wet.
Why did he do that?
Because to show
YouTube channel.
Because at this point in the movie, he's the bad guy, right? He's the guy who doesn't take it seriously. Right. But right after this, we find out he's a learned he's a learned man. He's been studying these for a long time.
No, not only do we have to give him a heart of gold, we got to give him a brain of titanium.
Yeah, and
so he's actually a dropout from meteorology school where he was like, nah, this is not for me. I don't know. I'm going to go ride bulls. And then he smashed his head on bull riding.
No, he left bull riding to go actually get his degree.
Okay.
And then the one that they really humanize right after we figure out he has a degree, the scene we get of him is him saving a dog. Like, no bullshit. It's him saving a dog.
Yes.
It's the exact opposite. It's like, how do we make the audience like this guy? Well, he has to save a puppy. Duh. Yeah.
And it won. It got me. Eventually, he does endear himself to me. Then he shows up at her door, and he says, I got some pizza. Yeah, he stalks her this whole thing. He even shows up to her house unannounced, which is kind of weird, but he's hot, so you can get away with it. Exactly. If you look like Joe,
step one,
then you're going to be arrested.
Yeah, step one, be attractive.
I said Joe! Just because I went like this, we're both Joe.
Like
if
Joe.
I look like me or look like you, okay? And Alex will probably call the police because they think that they're going to be killed.
I'm the Brute Squad.
Yeah, Michael Myers. But no, so he shows up with the pizza. And then he's like, I thought you might be hungry. Like, oh, he's so attentive to my needs. But instead, she grabs the pizza and she goes, shuts the door. I like that part. And then she's like, did you find it? She opens it back. Did you find a dog? Of course. Of course I found a dog.
It was pregnant, and then I nursed its puppies myself.
So,
like, what?
then
Javier is also like trying to be with her.
I'll do anything you tell me to do. There was a time where I would have done whatever you said.
Yeah,
you can clearly tell
he tries,
he loved her.
But he's working for the wrong side.
Yeah.
Why is he working for the wrong? Tell us about that, Joe. Spoil it.
Because he wants to track, and he's working with the tycoon that wants to buy up land after the tornado goes through. So they want to track it and make sure the investors are safe with their money.
I read it as he shows up, he's got a lot of money. It's like, what the fuck, where'd all this money come from? Turns out for the tycoon. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking that the tycoon was swindling people out of their property, saying, look, you're in Tornado Alley. Let me buy your land after they're devastated. So he takes their homes, he takes their land.
That too, but he also
wants there's this emphasis on data. They got to get the data.
Yeah, they want to do that too, but then whenever they pop up new businesses, they want to make sure that they're tracking the tornado.
There's like there are 9 neighborhoods, and we've got these things so we can warn these people and make sure they're insured and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, that's his initiative, but not the tycoon's initiative.
Oh, tycoon's evil. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a mixture in there. So he still has good intentions. Unfortunately, in order to get the money, he has to work with somebody who is buying up land. Which I was even thinking to myself, it's like, well, I'd probably be grateful to get out of the middle of Tornado Alley and somebody would buy my house. And if I'm signing, and I would be signing, it would be my decision. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like he's like, this isn't Roadhouse territory where they're showing up and intimidating people and kicking their ass with roundhouse kicks.
The fucking tornado every 5 minutes.
It's a tornado every 5 minutes
so
in this
like,
area.
How much you offer me? Yeah,
I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to take my family to a safer
this worthless
spot.
land. That's gonna get ravaged.
But it's taking advantage of the people, though.
He's probably
the people.
He's giving $7.
Yeah, we have to go and help. So the people get fucked like 17 times in this film, and they have to turn around and help the people. It gets a little annoying. It's a
and
little
they're not doing anything. Like
right?
it's like if they were medical people, but like most of the time they get there and they
scream at people.
They're like, "Hey, go this way!" And it's like the cop who's in the streets, like, "Yeah, I've been telling these people to go that way. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, get out of here!"
Yeah, so I didn't get the other part too. With the I get it, but it's like the Superman scene with Javier is like, we got to make this. We got to upload the tracking device. He could have done that real quick. and got back into town.
Right, yeah. But he sees his girlfriend from afar go back and help the people.
You could do both.
And this is an emotional moment where everyone has to help the people. If you don't help the people in this moment, you're a bad guy. And notice how they go scene by scene on who is going to go back and help the people. But it's such a stupid scene because nobody really helps the people because when they show up, there's not much you can do. People are already directing people to things. So another
get the diapers.
So he goes back to help the people, and then they make sure to show the reporter who is embedded with Glen Powell's group this whole time that he gets his camera and then he puts his camera away and then helps people. It's like, as a reporter, you probably should be taking pictures. It would be more helpful if you were taking pictures.
Yeah, you can get a lot of money for these communities by showing how horrible they have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of that kind of melodramatic stuff is hilarious. So the whole crux of the film is, can she delete a tornado? She got 3 of her friends killed. 4 of her friends killed.
3. Right?
4 of her friends.
Boyfriend, the Sabrina chick. I think it's Sabrina. And then
the
other guy.
Okay, yeah. So 3 friends killed, and so she gave up. But it turns out that it would have really worked if it was an F1 and not an F5. But then it does. So then at some point they see another tornado. This is like the 4th tornado,
but they didn't have
by the way.
All the data.
And they go together after he already spent time at her house, and her mom gave full approval because her mom loved this cowboy guy. Comes and mom's like, "You're staying for dinner, and
you're spending the night.
You're spending the night.
You just met this guy."
But she wants to get her daughter laid.
Or maybe she was looking to get laid.
Maybe. But they go on a date, basically, in the tornado.
The rodeo.
And
they drive into a tornado.
And release.
After the rodeo,
So there were multiple dates in this film. But anyways, so she releases it, and you would think it dissipates the tornado because they're all in the car, and it's rocking. But it moves on, and then she gets out, and she looks at it, and it didn't work. It's the model is not good enough. And then she's like, I got to get more data. And so she has to talk to her old friend who they just had a fight, because these 2 crews are competing with each other and all that stuff. And why did they get into the fight?
She found out that he's working for the land stealer.
So she confronts him about the land snatcher. And she says some mean shit to him. And then when he says mean shit back to her, she's all like, what the fuck, how dare you? And then she walks off, and then he's like, oh shit. And then he has to make it up to her. But at no point does she have to make up on the mean shit she said to him.
Welcome to life.
I'm like, what the fuck? Welcome to life.
Welcome
to being with women.
Welcome to life, my friend. That's how,
sacrifices are made.
Sometimes the fight isn't worth it, and you just have to be like,
But then he doesn't get the girl.
It's just like it's not worth it.
No, you just go get the data for. He gives her the data, and then she gets with the other guy.
Yeah,
and then at the very end, he goes, "Attaboy." I'm like, that's not in his character. He wants to be with her.
He would have been.
But he wants her to be happy.
I guess, yeah. And then in the sequel, then maybe Glenn dies, and then she can get with him.
Well, now
because
they're
her first
partners,
boyfriend died to a tornado, so then Glenn will die to a tornado, and then she can get with him.
His chances are higher.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, all the dudes keep dying
to tornadoes, and she gets with the new tornado guy, then he has a chance. But okay, so
adrenaline is supposed to be good for first dates. Like,
he says something to the effect of, "Well, your science experiment got 3 of my friends killed," and she goes, "Oh,
how dare you speak the truth
to
me?"
Like, but that's what happened. So that's what happened, but then he feels very bad later on in the movie. Comes back. She's like, we need the data after I went on my date with the cowboy. Yeah, but how bad would that be?
There's hey, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have told you that what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have told you what really happened. I should have sugar-coated it.
What do you mean?
Like, all my friends are dead.
Oh, right, exactly. Yeah,
That's basically what happened.
They were arguing with each other, so in that moment...
It's like he'll be at the doghouse if he goes back.
I should have sugar-coated his bullshit.
He has to sugar-coat it. Because he can't be like, hey, look, I made you realize...
Alex, what are you thinking here?
I'm just thinking that maybe your way of dealing with these little problems with women are not the best way to do it.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not like he can't go do that and be like, hey, that's what really happened.
Okay, so all right.
I'm saying so much over the last couple of years curious about you personally makes so much more sense now.
Oh, yeah?
So he gives the data, and she uses the data. It was the model that was wrong. And I don't know what that means.
Humidity. They weren't tracking the humidity, Joe. They were only tracking the stuff within the tornado and not the humidity, so they need more diapers.
Yes.
No.
And they need to make it rain.
Make it rain more.
And more diapers.
But then more diapers.
Also more diapers.
That doesn't make sense.
We got to shoot rockets.
Rockets.
Their plan is to shoot rockets into the tornado.
Okay.
They got to make it rain.
To make it rain inside the tornado, and then put more diapers in the tornado.
Diaper powder or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Okay. So then they do this, and does it work? We don't know if it works yet, because that's when we get yet another scene. Oh, no, this tornado is changing directions. It's headed towards the city. And so we gotta go now. And so everybody's going now. And then they're like, well, there's no place to hide. And so then they go into a movie theater. And this is when the tornado gets very close to the movie theater. And it's going to kill everybody because the building was not built for tornadoes. And it's hilarious. At one point, the screen shows this film, and then the screen rips away, and now you have a tornado, and you can just sit in the theater watching tornado come at you and kill you. No, everybody's holding on to the bottoms of the theater chairs as they fly away. But what happens? There's nothing that can be done except for she gets an idea. She hops in the truck because she knows that they prepared the truck to delete a tornado, and they previously modified it. And so then they drive over there. She drives over there, and Glenn sees her, and he's like, oh. But he doesn't go immediately. I thought he might show up in the passenger side of the truck to help her.
He has a broken leg, kind of.
He's hurt. Oh, he is hurt. Okay. So then she drives into the tornado herself while the boys look on. Her two love interests turns into Starship Troopers. Do you get with Dizzy or do you get with Carmen? You know, and so they're both looking, and she goes in there and deploys the thing.
And they think she's dead.
And she might be dead, and then the tornado's about to hit the theater, but then it dissipates because she was a superhero.
We don't know that.
What?
We don't know that.
Yeah, it's true.
Later on in the film, they were like, yeah, it could have dissipated because it hit the fire, and the fire then sucked. Because I was like, wait a minute, wouldn't the fire like suck the air and the moisture? You're trying to get rid of moisture. Doesn't fire get rid of moisture?
No.
Okay.
No, that's an explosion factory, and that specifically fuels tornadoes in this movie. Because it turned a normal tornado into a fire tornado, and like it grows, like the Grinch's heart. So it was crazy.
It was fun. That was a great effect. And I loved it.
I liked it.
And I was like, this is probably not how it would work, but I don't care.
I wanted it to
I want more of them.
I wanted to continue it to be a fucking fire.
Just hit the fucking city. Let's go full on.
Yes.
10 out of 10. Amazing. Instead, you gave it a 7. But if you did, 10 out of 10, right?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. But the dissipates, and it turns out her thing works, and then what else?
She becomes a partner with the dude.
Javier. Yeah.
So Javier takes his company away from evil Superman and his uncle. And then so she's going to go meet with investors in New York, people that she knows, and they're going to start this company, and they're going to do it right. But then Glenn shows up. And in his very tight jeans.
He just so happens to be at the airport.
And he shows up, and then, and he doesn't know how to park his car anywhere else other than directly in front of the car. And then Paul Scheer's there, tell him to move his car,
which was funny.
I like Paul Scheer.
And then she tells him right before she leaves, as she's talking to both of the lover boys, is like, she's talking to the cowboys. She says, "You got to ride your fear." Or what is it?
If you feel it, chase it.
If you feel it, chase it, which is his own catchphrase. And so then she leaves, and he's like, "Son of a bitch," and then so he goes chasing her. And then he presses the button, actually, to stick his drills
he's going to jail.
The airport.
He's in trouble.
He will never fly on a plane again.
Yeah.
And he was in major trouble. Will be arrested. But he makes it into the airport, and he gets with her, and he stops her, and they embrace or kiss or whatever.
Yeah,
no, they don't even do that, actually.
Yeah.
Instead, all the flights are canceled anyway, so he didn't even have to do the whole
The storms are coming.
The storms are coming.
Yeah. Because the storms are coming, and they could continue to do the work, I guess. Cool. And then that's when her other boyfriend says, "Attaboy," and there you go. What else?
And then we get some after scenes where she joins the team.
Yeah.
She joins the cast, the YouTube stuff. She's like, "Can I have my own shirt, my own face?"
And then he's like, "No." And then some other guy's like, "I'd buy it," and he's like, "Oh man."
Yes, that's it.
The cowboy gives the mom. He's like, I got a gift for you. He gives the mom one of his shirts and with his face
Tornado
on it.
Wrangler.
That made me laugh as well. Because I gave my mom one time. I gave my mom a shirt with my face on it. AngryJoe Show. Go buy some merch right now.
You done fucked it up. There you go. That's good.
Well, Joe, you have a face on a shirt too, and so does Alex. So
I gave
y'all are
all my
both
shirts.
in this.
I gave all my shirts to Ray.
Yeah, they're both in this. There's still a shirt that exists.
Yeah,
so
but
nobody can trust.
You put my shirt there.
Technically, I didn't do it.
It's not me. I want no part of that.
All right. Well, what else?
I think that's
it.
We do get flying chickens. Well, a little
No,
bit.
well, they said that he runs into a chicken coop, and then you see some feathers, but there's a lot of feathers in chicken coop, but then a chicken lands to let you know that no animals were harmed in this movie where a bunch of people died.
Except all the other 17 chickens that were in that chicken coop that exploded.
Yeah.
Died.
Maybe we should see like chickens. I don't know what else. Can't have cows.
Entertaining movie. It does make me want to rewatch the original since I don't remember a whole lot.
But it's so good.
Jackson is awesome.
Is so good.
And great acting and a perfect meld of acting and disaster film that takes itself seriously. So go watch the original. But yeah, go watch this one too because it's a lot of fun.
I have it on VHS if you want to borrow it.
And I'm trying.
Holy shit! How the fuck are we gonna play that?
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
You really?
Do you have a VHS
Do you have
player?
a VHS?
I don't anymore.
Okay, but you have the VHS.
It's in it. Yeah.
I still got it. Are you gonna watch it? No, can't.
It's a collector's item.
Like Titanic with the 2 VHS.
Oh, yeah.
There's 2 VHSs
For
on
Titanic?
the
Yeah.
Titanic. That makes sense. Please insert tape 2. Jack.
Oh man.
There's no space for me. Please insert tape 2.
What happens
Jack
next?
died. Oh fuck.
Terrible.
What's Billy Zane shout?
I have a child.
I have a child. He like steals someone's kid. I have a child.
Man's a survivor like me.
Okay, give us the child. Wait, no, I come with.
She's
let
all I
go
got.
of
She's
the
all
child.
I got. She's all I got. I have to go with her.
All right. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys on the next AngryJoe Show. Bye, guys.